All right. So I am stuck somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic. My staff laughs at the very notion that I have no British accent, and yet when I land at Heathrow, I'm a loud American tourist looking for castles or for the Harry Potter sites that inevitably all Americans are looking for. I must credit Harry Potter with at least giving my kids a better fake British accent than mine. So let me get some niceties out of the way. We are two nations separated by a common language. There are many funny words with hilarious double meanings that we all know and understand. I still can only say tomato. Please don't ask me to a party on the mall, because those words I just cannot say very well. I like Marmite. I don't like Guinness. Spotted Dick really is the name of a pudding or a dinner, a dessert in England. As a kid growing up, I would sneak downstairs just to watch or even to hear Monty Python and the Holy Grail on the TV. It was a great show, groundbreaking comedy, but hasn't always stood the test of time and can be a little awkward now compared to some of the great British comedies that come out today. Wallace and Gromit, the proud son of Bristol, my hometown. Which is where my favorite football team is. I'm not a Liverpool fan, not Arsenal, not Chelsea, not Manchester bloody United. It's Bristol City. And this is when I need to introduce you to my children, my son Ashton, and my daughter Jacqueline. I couldn't quite get away with Kate, although I think I could today. And my long-suffering wife, Kristen, who, being the introvert that I am, is the one who put me up here to do this. Perhaps payback for the many years she spent believing that we really did say cantaloupe instead of cantaloupe. So, what is this British guy doing running a US bicycling organization? I am living the American dream. You all know how to associate. You're not apologetic for it. You celebrate it, you make a career out of it, which is fantastic. The freedom to associate is powerful and cherished. Even more for me is the ability to be good at something and to be proud of it, and not to have to be awkward or embarrassed about it. It's not as if I've chosen a particularly lucrative or glamorous career or profession to go into. I'm sure my wife and my mother-in-law wondered about the career path of bicycle advocacy and where it would take me. But here I am, 25 years on, trying to persuade Americans, of all people, to give up their cars and to start riding bikes. And you're getting it, slowly. As Winston Churchill said, you can rely on the Americans to do the right thing. They just have to do everything else first. The US system of government is a godsend for associations. In the UK, the government of the day is both the executive and the legislative branch. So if you're not on their agenda, you haven't got much to do. In the US, in the Congress, you can always find someone to adopt whatever crazy idea it is you might have. And they'll introduce a bill, and you get a bill number. And all of a sudden, you've got a campaign to organize and fundraise around and do something about. And if you put a really good British accent on top of that, it will sound a lot smarter and a lot more sensible than you ever imagined. Congressman Jim Oberstar is a big cyclist and a big fan, a member of our organization, and used to be chair of the House Transportation Committee. Really, he's the one on the left. And he actually took the occasion of our National Bike Summit, our big lobby day, to tell the audience that I needed to rediscover my British accent because I was no longer convincing. And not everything is perfect on both sides of the Atlantic. I struggle to explain healthcare and gun control to my English friends, and frankly, I still struggle to explain British food to the Americans. One thing I have learned during this putting this presentation together is that I can now explain, I think, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky and the reason why he might have become a thorn in the side of the bicycle movement just recently. I think he might actually be Eric Idle, which really would explain a lot. And if you remember the words of the song at the end, that also explains a lot about the differences between us. This song was written by the English authors as a parody, but we Americans, we believe this, and that's awesome. Always look on the bright side of life.